Hello everyone, I am Pradnya. In this video, we are going to study chapter number 14, Online Access and Computer Security. In this chapter, we shall be discussing the threats associated with online access and how to prevent them. So let's get started. In the previous video, we studied first chapter from this unit 3 out of the 3 chapters. Now we are going to study the second chapter from the unit 3. All 3 chapters of unit 3 are theoretical chapters and you will be getting some case study questions which are based on some real life scenario and you have to tick the correct option out of 4. Okay, let's start with the first topic. First, we have to understand what are the threats to the computer security. Before that, let's look at some of the terminologies. The first is threat. Threat means it is a violation of security, means you are breaching the security and entering somewhere, that is threat. The second terminology is attack. When that threat is actually executed, then we can say it is an attack. And the third term is attacker. So who are attackers? Those who will execute that threat is called attackers. We use this term in real life also. Same terms we are going to use in case of computer. So what are the common threats to the computer security? The first one is viruses. And 2 different types of viruses we are going to study. The first is worms and the second one is trojans. There is one more threat to the computer security is spyware. In the spyware category also we are going to study 2 spyware. One is adware and one is spamming. The third threat can be PC intrusion. In this also 3 types of PC intrusion we will be discussing. And the last one is phishing. We discussed this phishing in the previous chapter. So let's go through all these threats one by one. The first threat we will be discussing is virus. Whenever we hear this word or we read only one name, we will be getting, that is COVID virus. With that we have struggled a lot. The way these viruses damages the human body, the same computer virus will damage computer. I don't know whether this is man-made or not, but the computer viruses are man-made and it is actually a program which cause damage to the data and the files on the system. So the computer viruses are the malicious program. Malicious means harmful programs which cause damages to the computer. Here are some of the examples of computer viruses. So we are going to study 2 virus-like programs. The first one is worms and the second one is Trojan horse. Worm is a self-replicating program, means it will keep on creating its copy until the memory is full. So the concept of computer worm and the biological worm is same. It will keep on replicating and it will keep on increasing in number. So in case of computer, these worms also will keep on repeating and the memory will get full, and after that we will face other complications. The second virus-like program is Trojan horse. It neither replicates nor copies itself. It looks like a harmless program, but it deletes or damages the file. It is often used to steal the information like login ID or passwords. So it acts as a keylogger. The name Trojan horse was taken from a Greek ancient story. It was a hollow wooden statue of horse in which Greeks are said to have concealed themselves to enter some city, and after that they won the war. So if you are interested in this story, you can go through it. Here are some of the example of Trojan horse viruses. So what are the damages caused by these type of viruses? First, it will damage or delete the file. It can slow down your computer because viruses will be running in the background. The next damage is it can invade your email program. Invade means it will spread to your contact list of your address book. The fourth damage is eating up all your disk space, because the viruses will keep on replicating them, so the copies will get created. Because of that, the memory will get filled. So these are some of the damages viruses may cause to your computer. Apart from viruses, we have other threats also. So the next threat is spyware. From name itself, we can tell what is the use of this program. That is to spy on the computer. So the spyware which will get installed on your computer, how it will get installed? Whenever you are surfing something on the internet, there are high chances of installing it without your consent, and it is used to spy on your activity. It will gather your information, and this information may get sold to the third party without your consent, and third party may use these information for their own benefit or to place ads. So whenever you are visiting any website or you are downloading something from the website, you have to check whether that website is a secure website or not. Now look at the damages caused by the spyware. Compromises your data, computing habits, and identity. So spyware is used to gather your sensitive information. So take an example, spyware can record your keystrokes while entering the credit card number if you are doing any financial transaction, and these data can be sent to the cyber theft. So it is used to spy your activities. Spyware can alter your PC settings. It can change the settings of your home page of the browser, or it can change the settings of the icons on your desktop. The spyware eats up your internet bandwidth. Because of that, your PC may get slowed down. Now let's move ahead with one more threat to the computer security, that is adware. Adware is used for placing the ad. So these are the programs which deliver unwanted ad to your computer. The adware is similar to spyware, but spyware will get installed without your consent. Adware may be installed with your consent, so you should read the installation instructions carefully. So what are the disadvantages of adware? It will track down your information, your computing habits, your browsing histories, and all this information will be sent to the third party to target some ads. That's why whenever you want to book the tickets online, or if you want to buy something, the same ad you will be getting on all the website. It will display a lot of annoying advertisement. So frequent pop-ups will appear, as adware will be working in the background, and the bombardment of the ads will slow down your PC. Let's try to understand one more spyware, that is spamming. So you are familiar with the spam mail. It can be from identified person or an unidentified person. You will be getting single mail, or you can be getting the bulk mail also. Spam can be in the harmful form, that is in malicious form, which will be sent by the attacker, and it will be bulk mail. So it will be in large amount, so that the mail server runs out of space. And spam can be harmless also, that is in non-malicious form, which are sent by the advertising companies for the promotion. Now look at some of the damages caused by the spamming. Spam reduces productivity. The millions of spam messages will be circulating through the internet, so it will reduces the productivity. Spam eats up your time. If there are lot of spam, we will try to delete it, so it will take up our time. Spam can lead to worse thing, because it may contain some offensive message, or it may be used to spread virus. So we discussed two types of spyware. One is adware and one more is spamming. The next category of threat now we are going to discuss is PC intrusion. Intrusion means it is an illegal act of entering someone else's property. Nowadays every computer is connected to internet, so there are high chances of getting hacked by the hackers if we will not take care of security of your computer. So PC intrusions occur when someone tries to gain access to any part of your computer system. So the hackers will try to gain access to your computer, so that is PC intrusion. So it can occur in one of the three forms. The first one is sweeper attack. Sweeper attack is a malicious program, means it is a harmful program. What it does, it deletes all the files from your system. So hackers use this sweeper attack to delete all the files from your system. The second form of the PC intrusion is denial of services. Denial of services means it is an action of denying something. Denying means refusing something. So it is also an attack on the computer which stops from accessing the resources. So cyber criminals will stop the authorized person to access the resources. And the third form of PC intrusion is password guessing. It is a process of guessing the password. And after guessing the password, the attacker will gain access to your computers, and then some damages can be caused to the computer. So PC intrusion can be occur in these three forms: sweeper attack, denial of services, and password guessing. In the list of the threats, there is one more threat to the computer security, that is called as eavesdropping. Eavesdrop means secretly listen to a conversation. So it is also an attack in which attackers gain access to the communication medium. It can be any communication medium like mail or telephone service or other chat rooms. And by listening the communication, the attackers will get the sensitive information. So eavesdropping generally happens when the network is not secure and the data is not encrypted properly. And it is a passive attack, so the sender and the receivers hardly notice this. It doesn't affect the normal operation. Take an example: if sender wants to send one mail to the receiver asking for some information, but it is not properly encrypted and not digitally signed, so attacker will take advantage of it and try to modify that message and then send to the receiver. Receiver thinks it is a genuine request and the information will be provided by the receiver, which will get stolen by the attacker, and then the information can be misused. So this is eavesdropping, where attacker will gain access to your communication medium. Till now we have discussed many threats to the computer security. Now it is the last category of the threat, that is phishing and pharming. Phishing we have already discussed in the previous video. So this word is actually taken from the term phishing. And you know phishing means what? It is a process of putting bait to trap fish. In phishing, criminals design exactly same mail or website, and the recipient will get tricked and they will provide their personal information. So phishing is a process of attempting to acquire personal as well as financial information. Let's try to understand in short how exactly the phishing works. You may get a mail which looks genuine, asking you to update your information by clicking on that link. When you will click that link, it will take you to the fake website. By thinking that this website is real, you will provide your sensitive information. So in this way, the criminals will get your personal as well as financial information, which they will misuse it. Now finally, we are at the end of the list of the threats. So the last threat we have to discuss is pharming. Pharming is also an attack in which hacker redirects a website's traffic to the another bogus website or to a fake website. We already discussed in the previous video that if we want to access any website, we should write the URL of that website by our own. But even if we are writing the URL by ourselves, it will redirect to the fake website. And that fake website will be exactly same as the real one and will get tricked and will provide our information. So far we discussed many threats and we are familiar with the problems, but now we should discuss the solutions for that, as every day we have to use the computer. So the security of the computer is based on the system of actions and some safeguards. So the solutions we are going to divide into two types. One is active protection, which will be by installing the antivirus softwares, and even we can take some preventive measures also. So let's discuss these solutions. First, we are going to discuss what are the solutions for the viruses. We know that to protect our system from the virus is by installing the antivirus softwares, and there are some anti-spyware softwares also. So the first step we should do is we should install some antivirus software in our system, and we should keep on downloading the updates for that. We should run frequent full system scans so that we'll come to know about the viruses in the system. These are the active protections. Now let's talk about some preventive measures what we can do it. We have to keep our system up to date. We should be careful while downloading files from the internet, and we have to be very careful with the emails. Don't open any mail from the unknown sender. Don't click on any link in the mail. One more preventive measure we can take, that we can disable cookies. You know, cookies are the text file which stores the online activity. So these are some of the preventive measures we can take to secure our data and to protect our system. Now let's discuss the solution for spam and the eavesdropping. Spams are the unsolicited mail, means unwanted mails which become the bane of the internet. It is creating trouble and causing the annoyance. So what steps we can take to avoid the spam? First, we can install some antivirus software in our system. So there are two methods which are followed by these antivirus softwares to block it. The first one is the sender filtering and the second one is the keyword filtering. So first of all, let's discuss the first method, that is sender filtering. So this method allows the messages only from the approved senders. So how this will be done? It will be done based on the digital certificate. Digital certificates are the digital information issued to website, and the digital certificate is used to identify the sender. So it will verify the sender. Even we can use the digital signature. It is just like the handwritten signature. So it is also a way of authenticating the identity of the creator or the producer of the digital information. And the second method used by the anti-spam software is keyword filtering. So in this method, it filters out the email messages that contains keyword or phrases specified by the users. So if you don't want the mail, you can provide that keyword or that phrase, and based on the provided information, the mails will get filtered, means you will not get that mails. And there are some preventive measures also. Let's discuss one by one. Keep your email address private. We should try not to give our email ID to any social media platform. We can use separate mail ID for that. The second preventive measure is we should use the encrypted connections like HTTPS. We have already discussed this in the previous chapter. The third measure is to install firewall. We discuss firewall also. It acts as a security guard which blocks the unwanted traffic. Try not to use the public Wi-Fi because it is very easy to track your information with the public Wi-Fi. So try not using Wi-Fi at railway stations and even at airport. The next measure is install internet security softwares. So by installing softwares and by taking some preventive measures, we can avoid spams and eavesdropping. We discussed a lot of solutions for some of the threats. Now it's time to discuss the solution for the PC intrusion. PC intrusion means the attacker will try to gain access to your computer. So if you don't want anyone else to access your computer without your knowledge, you can authorize the person. Authorization can take place by asking the legal login ID. Then the next step is authentication. Authentication means the user will be asked for the valid password. So if login ID and password is correct means you are authorized to use that system. The next step we can do is to install firewall so that it will prevent the unauthorized access. So these are some of the active protections for PC intrusion. Now what are the preventive measures we can take? When we are sharing any file on the internet, we have to give the proper file permissions, and there are 3 permissions for any file. That is, the first one is read permission, the second one is write permission, and the third one is execute. So depending on that permission, the person can read the file or write to the file or can execute the file. The important preventive measure is when we are not using internet, we should disconnect it. We studied the trick of phishing and the pharming that attackers will use to gain the personal information as well as financial information. So if we are a victim of these attacks, we should follow these active protections. Take the computer offline, so disconnect from the internet. Take backup of all the files. So if you have provided some information on that fake website, list out that information. One more step we can take, that we can run the antivirus software. As it is a matter of identity theft, we can contact the credit card agencies. Now let's discuss some of the preventive measures. In general, we know that we should not open any mail from the unknown sender, even we should not click on any link. If we are visiting any website, please check out that security guidelines of that website. And we know that we should not click any link from the sent mail. Instead of that, we should type the URL of that website by our own. Let's summarize all the steps in one line. When in doubt, do not click. We discussed different types of threats and the solution for it. So this is the important solution for all the threat is firewall. So firewall is a network security system which will come in the form of software as well as hardware, and the use of the firewall is to control the incoming and the outgoing traffic, and that will get control on set of rules. So instead of getting tricked or trapped by the attackers, it is always suggested to install firewall. Let's look at the software firewall. It is a special type of software which will protect from the outside attempt to gain the control or access to your computer, or it will protect from the Trojan programs and some email worms also. And what about the hardware firewall? It is a piece of equipment, or it can be another computer which will keep out the hackers. So firewall is an ultimate solution for many threats. So try installing firewall in your system either in form of software or in the form of hardware. So in this way, in this chapter, we covered the different types of threats to the computer security and the solutions to protect our systems against them. Hope you have understood the concept. In case you have any doubt or queries, do let me know. If these videos are meaningful to you, please subscribe to my channel so that you will not miss any chapter. In the next video, I will be discussing chapter number 15, that is Society, Law and Ethics, which is the last chapter of your portion. So till then, keep studying. See you in the next video.